Have you ever felt that prickle on your neck when something just feels off? That was me sitting in the back of an Uber on a rain-slicked night, watching my stop drift by in the rearview mirror. What started as a simple ride was about to become the longest night of my life. If you've ever had a gut feeling that saved you or wished you had, you're gonna want to stick around for this. Before I tell you what happened next, and believe me, it gets so much worse, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss the end of this story. It began with a polite correction. "Hey, I think you missed my turn back there," I said, leaning forward. The driver, a man named Ravi, didn't even flinch. His hands remained steady on the wheel, his gaze fixed on the endless ribbon of wet asphalt. The wipers kept their hypnotic, maddening rhythm. Swish, swoosh, swish, swoosh. Silence stretched, thick and heavy. Then his voice, eerily calm, cut through the tension. "I'm sorry. I have to take you somewhere else first." My annoyance flared into confusion, then into a cold knot of dread. This wasn't a joke. I fumbled for my phone, my fingers suddenly clumsy. "Pull over or I'm calling the police." That's when he did something that shattered my reality. He didn't argue. He didn't threaten. He simply passed his own phone back to me. "You need to see this," he whispered. My blood turned to ice. There, glowing in the dark of the car, was my wife's name, Hannah. It was glaring back at me from a breaking news alert, tangled in words like collision, I-76 eastbound in critical condition. My world, which was built entirely around Hannah, her laugh, her strength as a nurse, the way she made even the most chaotic days feel calm, simply ceased to exist. That night was supposed to be perfectly ordinary. Beers with my brother Eli watching the game. Hannah had texted an hour before, "Heading home soon," a message I'd smiled at, picturing her waiting for me. Now, that memory was a ghost. The drive to the hospital was a blur of smeared city lights and the relentless drumming of rain. Ravi drove with a focused intensity, a man on a mission I was just beginning to comprehend. Every red light was an eternity. Every car that passed felt like a threat. I tried calling Eli. His answer was a ragged, broken sound. "Danny? They're bringing her in now. They're saying it's serious." And then we passed it, the source of the nightmare. The ghostly dance of blue and red lights painted the wreckage on the side of the highway. I saw the mangled shell of a blue Honda Civic, her car. A strangled cry escaped my lips. "That's her car!" I wanted to tear the door open and run, but a police officer was already waving us past. "Keep moving." Ravi's voice cut through my panic, a steady anchor in the storm. "We have to get to the hospital, Daniel. She's not there anymore. They took her." At St. Mary's, the waiting room was a limbo of hushed whispers and the sterile smell of disinfectant. I found Eli and the dam broke. The fear, the disbelief, it all came pouring out in a flood of raw, helpless grief. He just held me. Hours later, a doctor emerged from surgery. The words came out in a detached clinical stream. Internal bleeding, fractured leg, critical but stable. Alive? She was alive. The word was a lifeline. When I was finally allowed to see her, she was a pale, fragile version of herself, surrounded by the soft beeping of machines. I held her cold hand, whispering her name, and then a flicker. Her eyelids fluttered. A faint, hoarse whisper. "Danny?" The dam broke again, but this time it was from relief. "I'm here," I choked out. "You're safe now." Her eyes, hazy with pain and medication, searched the room. "What happened?" she mumbled. As I started to explain, her brow furrowed. "It wasn't an accident, Danny," she whispered, her voice trembling with a terrifying certainty. "The car, it swerved toward me. He was looking right at me." It was Mark. Mark. Her ex-boyfriend? The name hit me like a physical blow. The police later confirmed it. Text messages on Mark's phone sent just moments before he crossed the center line without breaking were addressed to Hannah. If I can't have you, no one can. He hadn't survived. In the sterile quiet of the hospital, I found Ravi waiting, the Uber driver. He'd stayed. I couldn't leave without knowing she was okay, he said, his eyes filled with the stranger's genuine concern. I tried to thank him, to explain how his simple act of kindness, of not just dropping me off, but taking me to the truth, had changed everything. He just shook his head. Anyone would have done the same. But they wouldn't. And that's the part of this story I'll never forget. That night taught me that even in our darkest moments, in the midst of unimaginable chaos, there can be a sliver of light, a stranger's compassion, a hand to hold, a second chance. If this story touched you, hit that like button to let us know. Share your own stories of unexpected kindness in the comments below, because we all need a reminder that there are good people out there. And don't forget to subscribe, because every story has a lesson, and we have so many more to share.